everyone, I'm Allie Jiggers and welcome back to my channel. I keep trying to come up with like a crafty name to like name my channel and I just can't think of one. So we're just gonna go with my name because that's the same across all my platforms. I really appreciate every single one of you who is here watching, especially since I fell off the grid for a while. I'm really excited to be jumping back into YouTube and documenting and all of those things. This video is going to be a little different. It's a little bit more on the vulnerable side for me. And I've talked about this stuff on some of my other platforms, so if you follow me over there, you'll definitely have more knowledge of this. But I wanted to share. So we have been trying for baby number 2, and this is going to be a little into my, trying to conceive journey. And I'm going to share what that looks like. I'm going to share what it has looked like for me with not being keto. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just going to be sharing my own experience. So, to preface that, I have not been like strict keto or carnivore for the past about year. I've been off and on, low carb, this and that, and really have just been trying to find what works for me best. And I am shifting back into keto carnivore world, and today would be day 1, and it's November 22nd of 2021 while I'm filming this. So I don't know when you'll be watching in the future, but just so you're aware. And so we have been trying for a while now, and if you haven't seen my previous other videos, I do have hypothyroid and Hashimoto's, and I also have PCOS. And I wanted to share a little bit of what that looks like. And I'm going to be sharing more things as I start using them. I didn't bring it into here for filming, and I probably should have, but we have been unsuccessful. We did have a early miscarriage in July, right before we moved back to New York in August. And honestly, like, we didn't stop trying after that, but I was emotionally defeated because I'm a very mindset oriented person and I'm a very positive person, and I try to remain upbeat, but I just felt like my body was turning its back on me. And I will be honest, in this journey, and I felt a lot of limiting beliefs and doubts that kept coming up for me. All things I had when I was pregnant with my daughter. Am I a good enough mom, and how can I keep up with her? And I should be waiting till I'm healthier and this and that. And because I did have complications after my labor and delivery with my daughter. I had postpartum preeclampsia, which I did not know was a thing. And I wish that they talked about it more because it absolutely is a thing. And I had perfect blood pressure throughout my entire pregnancy with her. So and if you follow me over on TikTok or Instagram, I shared our reel or TikTok of us finding out we were expecting again. And shortly after we found out that it was a miscarriage, and I felt shattered. And I was really torn on sharing about it because so many people don't share that you're pregnant before the first trimester is over. And we did share before our first trimester was over with our daughter. And again, when I'm on social media, I'm very public about my life, and we were going to probably share early with that as well. And then I was torn on sharing about the loss. And I was really having a hard time grasping like why. Everybody says everything happens for a reason, and God only gives you what you can handle and this and that. And I just felt like I was tired. I was tired of going through the things just to feel like I was beating my head against the wall. So since having my daughter, I had a thyroid storm, and I used to have a normal cycle. But over the past about year, my cycles have not been regular. Some days 28, some days 32, some 35. And I've had quite a few 43-day cycles in the past year. And that's not normal for me, nor is it healthy, because it's signaling to me that something in my body is shifting and changing, and it's not functioning optimally in the way that it should. So we kept trying, and we were taking negative test after negative test after negative test. And every single time when you are trying and you take one of those tests, and it comes up negative, you are like, am I too early? Maybe it'll be positive tomorrow. What am I doing wrong? Like, why isn't this working for me? And I can honestly say for some people too that have not had children, like, why is it so easy for other people to get pregnant? And I can say with 100% positivity that I was very naive coming into this for trying for a second, because I conceived on my first cycle with my daughter. And I was keto at the time. And I really thought we would have a similar experience here. So it's been polar opposite and quite emotional. It's been up and down, and trying to figure out which way I wanted to share about it and if I wanted to share. And I felt like so many women are told not to share because it's taboo to talk about it, or it's depressing and this and that. And we as women need to stand together and share about those things. And while like our spouses understand and they feel pain and they feel lost too, it's different, because I feel like as a mom or as a woman, we blame ourselves. And that was hard for me. Like, that was really hard for me. And my husband tried really hard to understand, and he's incredibly supportive, but I couldn't get around like that I had lost it. And it was really hard for me to come to terms with that, and come to terms with, I have not been taking care of my body, and I don't necessarily know why. And I didn't know why this would happen to us, and I never would know why. And I know people are going to ask, about, you know, with the current state of the world and things. I am vaccinated, and that's okay. Some people aren't, and that's their decision. But I just felt very, and my cycles, I will say, were not regular before I was. So I have not found a correlation, causation, whatever. So I just wanted to share that, you know, you're not alone, and there's this like weird stigma of not sharing about it. And we should be able to share about it. We should be able to share what's on our heart and what we're feeling, so that, you know, the people that celebrate when we do tell them the happy news are also the people that would support us and be there for us when we have the sad news. And that's kind of how I chose to look at this and sharing more about my journey with this, because there wasn't a lot of people that I felt like I could connect with over this. Not that you want to be part of this community or that you want to be part of loss. So we kept trying, and then finally last month I decided to purchase the Mira, and I will do a video of the things that I'm using or will be using, and we'll go from there. There'll probably be multiple updates throughout this. I am shifting back into keto, more carnivore, but keto carnivore, ketovore, I guess you can call it. And seeing how that changes my cycle, because usually when I go back to keto, my cycle re-regulates itself. So, I said day one today, we're going to see how it goes. We'll see what happens and see if anything changes. For me, it's worth it. It's worth it for me to feel better, have less brain fog, to have more energy, and to get my body running back to how it should be, or how I feel best. Everybody's different, so I'm doing what works for me. That being said, I purchased the Mira, and I'm gonna explain it. I should have brought it in here for this video, but Mira is just this little, it looks like an egg. It's an analyzer, and it's a fertility tracker. What it does is you would usually use regular ovulation predictor kits, and I'll share a little bit more about what I use with that. And I've been tracking my cycle with Mira, and I realized that my body was gearing up for ovulation every month, and but it's not actually ovulating. So I've been having anovulatory cycles, and I met with my doctor, and I spoke with my doctor and my midwife, and she's one of the ones that was in the room with me when I had my daughter. And I've been using their Fertility Plus wands, and the cool thing is it actually prints out a graph, or spits out a numerical value for your hormones. So I know my highest LH was 7.2 for the month, and that's your luteinizing hormone that you need for ovulation. I also know my estrogen, my highest estrogen was 195. So being aware of what's actually happening in my body and being able to give those numbers and stats to my doctor so that my doctor can make a better decision or have more knowledge about what's actually happening with me. So the Fertility Plus wands are estrogen and LH. You use first morning urine, pee in your little cup, you take your test, you stick it in the analyzer for 16 minutes, and it spits out the values, and it syncs to your app, which I would show you, but the camera's on my phone, and I have to get better at editing videos. So, and then they also have confirm ones, which are PDG, which is the metabolite for progesterone in your urine, which confirm ovulation. And mine were saying that I had not ovulated. And when I spoke with my doctor, we discussed changing my diet and going back to what worked for me. We discussed medicated cycles, but first we're going to be changing how I eat. And she's doing a full metabolic panel and hormone panel, and they're going to do some workup on my husband. He'll be doing a semen analysis and blood work. So just to make sure that everything else comes back normal on top of that. And again, I do take thyroid medication. And so we're going to see how we do. We'll see how we feel, where we shift, what works for us, what doesn't. I would like to try a couple of cycles of just eating strict keto carnivore and seeing if my cycles regulate themselves and seeing if I can induce ovulation on my own. If not, then we'll be talking about doing letrozole or Clomid. So it's going to be up and down, and hopefully things pan out where we won't need to do medicated cycles or we won't have to go more. I did look into the fertility clinic near us, which is Central New York Fertility. And Dr. Kiltz, I believe his name is really big in the keto carnivore community. And he actually founded the fertility clinic, and he does recommend it for his patients as well. So it was enough for me to say, you know what, it's time to stop dicking around and go back to what works for my body. So hopefully I'll have more updates along the way. I did just order the temp drop. It's not here yet. So when that does come, I'll do an unboxing for that. And I will show the Mira as well. And I'll show you the other things that I'm using, such as like Prove tests and OPKs and different things. And we will keep you updated on this part of our journey. And I appreciate every single one of you. And please like, share, follow, subscribe. And if you have any questions, comment below and I will answer them. If you have any additional questions, you can always email me at alliesketolife@gmail.com too. I check my email every day, and I hope that we have another little baby running around here soon. So, happy holidays that are coming up. So have a good one.